I am Ogbeni Olawale Dawodu, a scion of the notable Dawodu family of Lagos State. Here is my good old days story. According to my loving mother, Iya Ijebu of blessed memory, I was born on a special day in the suburb of Ebutemeta in a traditional clinic and delivered by a male midwife. Growing up during the Civil War had its ups and downs because I hardly saw my father. He was always on tour, on account of the fact that he was working with the Nigerian Railways as a telecommunication technician, and his services were much in demand by the federal government. So, much of that period, Iya Ijebu and I were sequestered with my grandfather in Mushin. After the unfortunate and avoidable experience of the Civil War, the 70s brought in a fresh air of growth through the oil boom. We had moved to the railway staff quarters on Clifford Street, now Muritala Mohammed Way, Alaagomeji. Back then, Nigeria was still operating left-hand drive. We still spent coins as legal tender, and the economy was strong and vibrant. General Gowon had divided the country into 12 states. Our country was the nicest and safest and most progressively developing nation in the world. So much so that the then head of state was reported to have made that famous quote, "The problem of Nigeria is not money, but how to spend it. Life was good." I attended Methodist Primary School in Sabo Yaba with my other siblings. I remember when PPO's teaching period and attendance were divided into morning and afternoon sessions so as to allow more children to get education, and it was free. We looked forward to the long holidays. I cannot recall all the adventures we engaged in while growing up. There were just too many. Is it the bicycle riding, making and flying kites or playing Suwe? We go on fruit plucking spree in the surrounding bushes. Almond trees are our favorite target. We walked freely. The country was safe. No fear of kidnapping. Only occasionally do we hear of Gbomo phenomenon, which kept us in check not to wander far without informing our parents. Of course, football was a constant, with Monkey Post being the favorite. Lest I forget, it was either Omoliri or Blom football that we deployed. Believe it or not, those types of balls helped sharpen the controlling skills of stars that ended up playing for the Green Eagles then. The holiday period cannot be complete without enjoying a few weeks in the Dawodu family house on Bola Street, Ebutemeta, built by my grandfather, a very soft aristocratic gentleman. Memories of that period are etched in my mind till date. I was doted upon by my grandfather and moderately spoilt. The old man would not let a fly over my head. He gave me my first goody-goody caramel candy. The melting state was unparalleled. Only legends of that era will understand what I'm saying. I remember those days when our parents feared health officials more than the police. Every neighborhood was clean and neat because of the environmental inspectors, popularly called Wole Wole, always looking resplendent in their white uniforms and funny colonial hats. You dare not flout their rules or your household will get heavily fined. It is with nostalgia I remember the good old days when there was no distraction of any sort. We got weekly report card from school to take home, which must be acknowledged and signed by our parents. My father will conscientiously go through my school homework and ensure that assignments were perfectly done. Failure to do so was an invitation to lashes, which is often gleefully delivered by brother Isbao, the moblet scooter repairman. That father gave space to ply his trade just outside our compound. That man, he derives joy in seeing us cry. How can I forget my father's Vespar motorcycle, or when he bought his first car, a Volkswagen Beetle 1300, with the Udoji loan that the military government made available for civil servants back then. He will pack all of us into it on many Sundays for a picnic at the bar beach. I recall the sad day in our history on February 13th, 1976, when the then head of state, General Muritala Mohammed, was assassinated. It was pandemonium galore, with the parents running to school to ferry their children to safety. Moving to secondary school was as exciting as primary school. We still enjoyed free education all through. A strong legacy left behind by Pa Obafemi Awolowo, which many of us benefited from. This policy has endured. It helped shape generation of leaders till date. Alas, decades after, the notion of a great black nation has been thrown through the window. In fact, the theme on everybody's lips is whether the country is not on the brink of breaking up. Instead of one big, black, uncontestable nation, we have a giant, broken, and beaten one. How did we get here? I have repeatedly asked myself that question. I cannot believe this is the same country I grew up in. Where has my country gone? Is this the country we want to bequeath our children? We enjoyed Nigeria when the system worked. Our children deserve same. I hereby join Sir Shemori Badijo in this collective drive towards a greater tomorrow. Thank you.